Welcome to Balanced Life Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Angela Clark. Life is a crazy, wonderful adventure, and it can pull you in every direction, sometimes all at once. Can you really achieve success in one area of life without losing it all everywhere else? Can it really be done? Are you up for a good challenge? Well, let's get started. Hello, and welcome to episode 7 already of Balanced Life Entrepreneur. I'm so glad you've joined us today, and I have to say, I'm really excited about this new book I've been reading. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I have to say, as someone who's always had an entrepreneurial spirit, these types of books really get me excited, and I am so excited to share this book with you. I'm just getting started on it, and I always do read with in the back of my mind the thought, what can I glean from this? What can I pass on to my listeners in the podcast? And I didn't get very far because I'm taking all kinds of notes. It's a really good read and so much information. But I'm going to get right into it, but I can tell you I'm not going to get very far into the meat of the book because there was just so much of it here. But he's talking about habits. What is a habit? A habit is a routine or behavior that is performed regularly, and in many cases, automatically. He says in the book, changes that seem small and unimportant at first will compound into remarkable results if you're willing to stick with them for years. We all deal with setbacks, but in the long run, the quality of our lives often depends on the quality of our habits. With the same habits, you'll end up with the same result, but with better habits, anything is possible. Oh boy, do I love that. Okay, I want to read you one more section from the book. This is word for word from the book. This is not my words. It's not my wisdom. It's his. He says, why small habits make a big difference. It's so easy to overestimate the importance of one defining moment and underestimate the value of making small improvements on a daily basis. Too often, we convince ourselves that massive success requires massive action. Whether it's losing weight, building a business, writing a book, winning a championship, or achieving any other goal. We put pressure on ourselves to make some earth-shattering improvement that everyone will talk about. Meanwhile, improving by 1% isn't particularly notable. Sometimes it isn't even noticeable. But it can be far more meaningful, especially in the long run. The difference a tiny improvement can make over time is astounding. Here's how the math works out. Now, anyone that knows me knows that this definitely isn't my words because me and math just don't get along. Anyway, he says, here's how the math works out. If you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day for 1 year, you'll decline nearly down to 0. What starts as a small win or a minor setback accumulates into something much more. Now, that statement really got my brain going. I mean, sometimes I'm like that dog who sees the squirrel. You know, my brain is like, oh, squirrel, and I'm off, and then I'm off over here, and I'm off over there. So, again, that's why I also like to have the audiobook to these books, because for some reason, the audiobooks kind of keep me focused a little more. So by the time I got to this point in the book, it was getting late in the day, I will admit, and I was probably tired, but my brain went off on 5 different sidetracks. But I got to thinking, I wonder how many really successful people made it big later in life. So I did a simple Google search, and it's easy to find they're everywhere. Did you know Colonel Sanders was 65 when he became successful? When I was 30, I went to school to become a cosmetologist with one goal in mind. It was not to become a cosmetologist, it was to own a salon. And I felt this urgency, this rush inside me. It did make me a really good student. I was there to do my best to get my license to own a salon. But I thought it was because of my age. I just have so much I want to do, and I was already 30 years old, and I just always had this pressure to this drive maybe to just go, 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 go. And I'm not saying it's a negative thing, but sometimes hearing these stories of people's success later in life is so encouraging because I think sometimes I need a relief from that urgency, that drive to success. Sometimes I need to take a break, and sometimes my brain needs permission to just calm down a little bit. And if you're a driven person, I know that you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm going to read you a couple more of these later in life success stories because I just love it. Did you know that Vera Wang didn't design her first dress until she was 40? Stan Lee, the Stan Lee, created his first hit comic, The Fantastic Four, just shy of his 39th birthday. How about Samuel L. Jackson? Hasn't he always been around? He only had bit parts here and there before landing an award-winning role at 43 in Spike Lee's film Jungle Fever. Man, I swear he's been around forever. How about Sam Walton? Sam Walton founded the first Walmart at age 44. How about Betty White? Now, I know she's always been around. Betty White is one of the most award-winning comedic actresses in history. But she didn't become an icon until she joined the cast of The Mary Tyler Moore Show at age 51. Oh, and here's one more. Anna Mary Robertson Moses, better known as Grandma Moses, began her prolific painting career, wait for it, at 78. In 2006, one of her paintings sold for $1.2 million. That is freaking awesome. So then I got to thinking, all right. I wonder if there's anything all of these people have in common. And sure enough, there sure is. They all have a couple of things in common. And I found this information written by Tom Corley, who's an accountant and financial planner. He surveyed 233 wealthy individuals, mostly self-made millionaires. So I thought, this does certainly apply to what I'm talking about and what I'm looking for. He says the number one trait is they all get up early. Ugh. Okay, I can do that. He says nearly 50% of the self-made millionaires in his research got out of bed at least 3 hours before their workday actually started. Now, I do have to say, I get up at 4:45. I don't have to be to my salon until 10 o'clock. But I get up that early, not because I'm awesome like these millionaires, but because my husband gets up that early and I enjoy spending time with him before he leaves for work in the morning. But man, oh man, when he leaves for work, I'm in my voiceover studio by 6 a.m. and I work until 9 a.m. and those honestly are the most productive hours in my business. They are amazing. I'm grateful that I've been forced to develop that habit of getting up early. But anyway, see, that was a squirrel. Anyway, let's get back to the list here. What else do they have in common? Ooh, this one's awesome. 2 is they read a lot. Ooh, okay, we're doing that, right? And we're here talking about them, which is awesome. He says a whopping 88% of his wealth respondents say they devote 30 minutes or more each day to education or self-improvement through reading. Whew, okay. Truth be told, that's a challenge. Thank God for audiobooks. Ooh, we better move right on to number 3. All right, what's he got? He says they spend 15 to 30 minutes each day on focused thinking. All right, what is focused thinking? He says the rich tend to think in isolation in the mornings. and for at least 15 minutes every day. They'll reflect on their career, their health, and their personal relationships. Having quiet time to analyze their thoughts is associated with stress reduction. I like it. Number 4, they make exercise a priority. Okay, that makes me feel good. Because I don't love to work out, but I make myself do it. So, working out regularly clears your head and makes you feel more motivated. I completely agree with that, even though I say that I don't like the exercise. I love the results. Let's see, according to his study, 76% of his survey respondents carve out 30 minutes or more for aerobic exercises like jogging, biking, or walking each day. Man, that's awesome. 5, they spend time with people who inspire them. You are only as successful as those you frequently associate with, he says. Oh, yes, that is so good. I'm going to post the link to this article because this is a really good article and I'm all about promoting the things that I find. This is about me passing on the good news I find. So I'm going to post the link to this article in the description. Anyway, number 6, they pursue their own goals. Most self-made millionaires plan to get rich and then make it happen. 80% of the wealthy are obsessed with pursuing goals, he writes. They refer to both daily and long-term goals regularly. Oh, that is so good. 7, they get enough sleep. Albert Einstein reportedly preferred to get at least 10 hours of sleep a night. Whew! If you two function best when you're well-rested, then he's got some good news for us, I guess. An overwhelming 89% of self-made millionaires sleep 7 or 8 hours each night or more. I gotta say, that's a hard one for me. I find a hard time balancing how much work I need to get done every day and the amount of sleep that I should get. But it's a journey, right? We're working on it. Okay, what's number 8? They have multiple incomes. Self-made millionaires do not rely on one single source of income. They develop multiple streams. 65% had at least 3 streams of income that they created prior to making their first $1 million. Okay. So nothing wrong with the side hustle, guys. 9, they avoid time wasters. Money isn't the only important resource for wealthy people. Time is crucial, too. When we invest our time in anything, it's lost forever. Be choosy about the apps you spend your time with. Instead of spending hours on end watching Netflix or scrolling through Instagram. Ouch. Did I just read that right? Oh boy, that last one kicked me in the butt. Okay, so I'm definitely going to post this for you because I didn't read it all. I just read the highlights. But that was a really good article, and it completely goes with the book that I'm reading. So, information like this really does just fire me up. This stuff should be encouraging to all of us who have goals and aspirations, all of us that struggle to get out of bed in the morning because we worked so late into the night, and are those dreams ever going to become a reality? Are we ever going to get there? And when you're in the middle of it and you're exhausted and you're tired, it seems like a long, dark road, but keep going. Enjoy the journey as you go. Embrace all the work that you need to do. Embrace what you don't know and find excitement in discovery. Discovery. I think that's where I'm going to stop for the day. After all, I have a whole lot more of this book to read. Remember, it's called, the whole title is Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results. Atomic Habits. An easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. And it's written by James Clear. Says here he sold over 1 million copies. It's a New York Times bestseller, and I'm telling you, it is a good book. And I'm gonna keep talking about it in our next couple of episodes, I think. There's so much here to talk about. He's just got so much information. So I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to dive back into this book. And I would encourage you to order the audiobook or order the hardcover, whatever works best for you. Or get them both like I do. But I would encourage you to pick this up and read it for yourself, and then maybe we can compare notes. What do you say? All right, I'm going to bring this to a closing. Before I head into my final notes for you, I just want to encourage you to, take that little finger down to the bottom of the screen and hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys would like to talk about or what books have made a lasting impression on you. Oh, I'd love to hear that. It's Monday morning when this podcast is being released. You've got your whole week ahead of you. I hope you've learned a little bit of something from this episode. I hope you've gotten some encouragement from it. And just remember, as you're getting out there, starting your week, taking on your day, you can conquer your world, one step at a time.